Hey ladies, this video is going to be for my transitioners. I realize, especially lately, I've been getting a lot of messages from those of you transitioning, about hair care tips and what to do. And I realize most of my viewers are transitioning, so I figured let me make this video now. Before I start that, my hair is, I promise you, nothing special. I've never even worn it like this. It was up in a ponytail, and then I took it down. And I thought to make this video, I didn't want to tie it back up, so I did some manipulations and got this. But I've never even worn it out like this. But it's cute. I would now. I didn't, really think of this, so whatever. That's that. So yeah, my transitioners. I guess the first question that every person who's transitioning asks is, what shampoo and conditioner do you use, and how often do you wash your hair? And how often do you co-wash your hair? I use Head & Shoulders shampoo, and I use Herbal Essences conditioner. And in the beginning, when I first started transitioning, I would wash my hair maybe once every 2 weeks, and then I would co-wash as often as I felt needed. Sometimes every other day, sometimes once a week. It really depends on you and your patience for your hair. It got annoying, but that was like later. In the beginning, I was like so excited about it that it didn't bother me. I would do it often. There's really no rule or limit to how often you should co-wash, but you should definitely not wash your hair more than once a week. No. Like once a week is often enough, and I wouldn't even do it that often. But shampoo dries your hair out, unless you're using a sulfate-free shampoo. I would probably have to say the biggest thing for transitioning, and even when you're natural, is moisturizing. You need to find whatever moisturizer works for you. That's going to take plenty of trial and error. I didn't really figure out what mine was till 2 months ago, and that's my shea butter and coconut oil mix. And I'm so upset that I didn't find that out months ago. But like I said, some people don't even like that mix. You really need to find what works for you, and that's not always the easiest part, but it kind of is the most important. So do your research and play with things. It's going to take some time. What I will say is when you're buying things, ingredients to try to stay away from, definitely alcohol, because alcohol is just drying to your hair, and mineral oil and petroleum. And with these two ingredients in there are found in so many things. Remember, I don't know if you've seen in any of the videos, that jar of jam? As much as it would work for whatever style I was doing, it had both of these ingredients. And this is all going to tie in. Mineral oil and petroleum are two cheap ingredients that are found in a lot of products, because what they do is they mask your hair and they give you the illusion that it's moisturizing. And what it does is it makes your hair shiny and soft for like a day, if that. And then the next day, your hair will be extremely dry. And in one of my videos, I even mentioned that. I said, oh, this is the jam, and it keeps my hair feeling really soft for a while, but the next day it's usually dry. And that's because these products coat your hair, and what they end up doing is they seal your hair in, but they also block out any moisture from getting to your hair shaft. So, not the best products. I don't even use those anymore. But like I said, it's hard to find anything without them. They're in so many things, which is why I use my shea butter and coconut oil, because they're natural products. But yeah, that's going to take time. So moisture is definitely key. Okay, my next thing, brushing your hair, detangling, and breakage and shedding and all that. I'll clear this up right now. You shed 100 strands of hair, more or less, whatever, a day. So if you go a week without brushing or washing your hair, and you finally do, and then you have all this hair falling out, that's 100 strands times 700 strands a day, more or less. You're going to have a significant amount of hair in your brush when you go to wash it a week later. I get so many messages, oh, I think my hair is breaking, a handful of hair falls out every time I wash. Yeah, the same thing happened to me. And there's a few reasons for that. That's one of them. The other is when you detangle your hair, you can't do it the same way you did when you were all straight, when your hair was completely relaxed. You can't. It's not the same thing. I remember when your hair, when your hair's relaxed, you get in the shower, you wash it, and you brush it through, and whatever. Knots usually come out pretty easy because your hair is straight. Your hair is curly now, so you gotta do it a little different. What I do when I'm in the shower is I do it from the back to the front. So I stand, with the water here, and all this hair will be in the front, nice and dry. And you let the little back piece, like right by your neck, fall down. Get that wet. Put your conditioner in, and then brush from the ends to your roots, and take like sections. Don't do a whole, not whip out your hair. Then of course it's gonna break, and it's just frustrating, and your arms are tired. Sections are key, and I do that little by little till I get to the front. And that's detailing. And then a lot of hair falls out too. I would show you just to let you know you're, normal, but kind of gross. But it's, and I have a lot of hair too though. So if your hair is thinner and that's happening and you actually see your hair breaking, then you might want to look at what you're doing, and get a better detangler. But, if your hair looks fine and your hair isn't thinning, it's not breaking, in the front, and you can pull your hair back fine, then don't worry about it. It's probably just a natural shedding occurrence. Alright, and so the next thing I want to talk about is when I transitioned, I did not straighten my hair at all. Like, I got my last relaxer in August 2009, and it's October 2010. I still haven't straightened my hair. I will, but I just haven't. I didn't want to disturb my natural curl pattern with any crazy types of heat or anything like that. So, people do it differently. Some people straighten their hair all through it. I just didn't. But there are stages, general stages that everybody pretty much goes through with transitioning. So things to expect, right? So your first stage, right, is your new growth stage. So, and this is the easy stage to deal with. It's like the first 2 to 3 months that you don't get a relaxer. And most of us have been there. That's why it's easy to deal with, because most of us have, waited too long to get a relaxer or a touch-up. So we know how to deal with that. You know how to do your hair, make it work, straighten your roots, or do some wet and wavy style to blend your hair. So that's why that stage is not so bad. Then you get into stage 2, which I call the product stage. And then that is like, 3 to 4 months, maybe 5 months, when a good 2.5, inches of hair has grown out. Now it's getting harder to blend the two textures, and now you're probably dealing with dryness. So you're out looking for all these products, to tame your hair, to slick it back, to moisturize it. So that takes some time. Stage 3, I call the protective styling stage. Eventually, I know I did. I know a lot of other people did too. You got tired of trying to deal with two textures, and you probably abused your hair with all the products you're trying to put into it. So what you end up doing is you get a protective style, which you should do at a certain point. I got my Senegalese twist, and it basically just gives your hair a break from you dealing and handling with it all the time. So I kept mine in for 2 months. When I came out of that, I was maybe 6 months into my transition. And I would call that the excited stage, the excited in between stage. Because when I took my twist out, my hair had grown another inch, and I was like loving the texture of my natural hair. So I was excited. I'm like, oh, my hair's gonna look really nice. I started seeing my curl pattern form, but you still got all these relaxed ends on. So it's like, that's why I say it's excited in between, because you're like, you want to be there already. So then stage 5 comes, right? Another month or 2 goes by, and now you're frustrated, and you're tired of trying to blend. You're tired of taking all the time out. It takes a lot of time to deal with 2 different textures. And I know that's whether you're straightening your hair or going curly the entire time. And you see all this new growth, and you want to get rid of the rest so bad. But maybe you didn't meet your goal of whatever time you thought you were going to chop your hair, or maybe you didn't plan on cutting it. So, you're afraid of what it's going to look like short. It's the frustrating stage. It sucks. But then, the last stage, like stage 6, is the renewal, the acceptance, the big chop, the freedom stage, whatever you want to call it, at some point, your hair is almost 100% natural, and you love it. And that's where, I am. I actually cut a lot of my hair off and fell in love with my hair because it was like, it's like you've never seen it before. So it is a journey, and, they call it a natural hair journey for a reason. It has its ups and downs, but it's a very rewarding one. So, I've never been happier with my hair. So if you're transitioning, stick it out, stay strong. It's not easy. I would probably say like around your 5th or 6th month is the hardest to deal with your hair. But after that, it'll get easier. Just so many people relapse and relapse like it's a drug. And they go back to relaxers. And then they regret it, So my biggest advice is to just stay strong and stick it out because it's worth it in the end. So those are my little tips and what have you. So if anything else, leave a message, comment, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I'll see you in another video.